Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the opposition preview for Liverpool against Arsenal. Carabao Cup is finally here. It should have been here 1 week ago, but it's finally here. Two legs. The weird thing is that the Tottenham-Chelsea tie will be over before Liverpool and Arsenal even play the first leg. So Chelsea could be waiting for the other finalists for another couple of weeks. But my guess again today, it feels like we play Liverpool 4 times every single season, and here we are again. I think this is like the 7th or 8th time Dag is on the channel. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am very good. I'm finally getting some football. Now, obviously, still gutted that we went out to Nottingham Forest. That was a major surprise. So this becomes a very big game. Obviously, you guys still can win the Champions League. You can still win the Premier League. You can still win the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. For us, it's just the Carabao Cup. And I think with all the players, we have all the fit players right now, like only 14 or 15 players, we have to go strong. So as usual, we will go through a couple of topics. Let us know what your prediction is for the game in the comment section down below. I'll leave Doug's links in the description as well and in the title. So let's get started. We have to start with that one, Doug. Klopp controversy from last week. What did you make of that game being postponed? Did you expect it to be postponed? Were you surprised when you heard it was postponed?
Well, I think after the Chelsea game, I was obviously disappointed in the 2-2 draw, and then obviously the news comes out that Klopp's obviously tested positive for COVID, and then all of a sudden it just seems to go through the camera. Pep Blinders got it, but what's come out is just crazy. Like I don't know what to make of. I don't know actually what to make of this. I really don't. But something is definitely fishy going on, I have to say. But it was very weird. Look, to be honest, I don't really listen to Klopp press conferences anymore because the Christmas schedule, he always seems to complain about that. Always has something to complain about. So it's a weird one. I've never known to have I've never known to see a squad have false positives before. That must only happen once in a blue moon. Really very strange. For me, I think the game should have gone ahead last week. I think Arsenal fans have got a right to be very unhappy with. But what it does do, it gives away our home advantage because we would have had home advantage in the second leg, and now you've got home advantage in the second leg. But are you happy that you're getting the Anfield one out of the way, or would you have preferred to have had it in the second game?
That's actually a very tough question. I've been thinking about it for like 1 week. There is that obviously where you play. We can hope to come to Anfield and try and get a draw and then take you back to our place. But that usually happens. Yes, our home form has been great, but that usually happens when you really trust yourself at home. When you really know at home, we're definitely going to win our game at home. Maybe if you guys could have come to our place last week with a few injuries and we've gotten like a 2-goal advantage or something, you could come to your place knowing as long as you don't let them get a 2-goal advantage, we are good. So you can come there with a clear plan. So maybe things switching up is a bit all over the place. But personally, I still prefer coming to your place first and see how we do, and then you probably come to our place next. But again, as I said, we could come to your place, and then if you beat us 4-0, already the tie is over. There's that chance. So Liverpool just come to our place and put a back 5, and that's it. So that is a good question. People in the comment section, let us know. Do you prefer it being home or away first? That was also going to be my question for Doug. Home advantage. You guys have had to play the first game at Anfield now, and I've forgotten the word, but you've had to like leave the home advantage and play the first game at home. Does that really matter, or as long as it's 2 games, whichever comes first, it's okay?
Yeah, I think when it comes to obviously these two-legged ties, I think it's all about getting a lead. And if you get a lead, you usually do go on and win it. But you guys have got a good record against us in the League Cup. I remember I think you won last season. Was it 1-0? No, actually it was 0-0, and then you won on penalties against us. There was obviously that 5-5 draw, which we managed to win on penalties as well. You've got a good record against us in the League Cup as well. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game because you're obviously coming off the back of a very disappointing result against Nottingham Forest. But Arsenal have definitely improved, and this is another big test for Arteta. If he can go to Anfield, get a first leg lead, or even go away with a draw, then it goes all the indices back on Arsenal. So I'm looking forward to this game. Actually going to get to see it. I don't usually get to see games on Thursday evenings, so obviously I'll see the first leg tomorrow, but I won't see the second leg because I'll be obviously back to work. But yeah, I obviously having home advantage would have been very good in the second leg, but it's all about if we can get a lead tomorrow, and that's all I'll say is if we can get a lead, I would be confident going into the second leg.
You don't get to see Thursday night football because you never play on Thursday nights. It's been like since you played Sevilla in a final, like back in 2016, you've never been having to play in the Thursday night football.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is a problem for you. For us, we really have to cut out anything happening on Thursday because you usually play on Thursday. So you've mentioned the Carabao Cup or Carling Cup back in the day used to be called. Last time we beat you on penalties. The previous time, I think that was Curtis Jones also on penalties. The last 2 times we've played you at Anfield in the Carabao Cup on penalties. There's one I really remember back in 2007 where we came to your place and won 6-3, Julio Baptista scoring 4 goals. That was also in the Carabao Cup. And then there was one where Thomas Rosicki scored twice. So we've played you guys at Anfield several times over the last 15 years in the Carabao Cup. So that is the first topic. Let us know what you make of that, guys. So let's take a look at how you guys have done so far in the Carabao Cup. We can start with that. So obviously we started early on. We did beat West Brom 6-0. We beat Wimbledon 3-0. We then beat Leeds 2-0 and then beat Sunderland 5-1. The West Brom Sunderland games, you'd expect us to win Wimbledon as well. And Leeds really as well at home. You'd expect Leeds are always terrible in terms of conceding goals. So that is pretty easy for us, but we had to start in the second round this time round since we have no European competition. And for Liverpool, beat Norwich 3-0. I think this was like 2 weeks after beating them 3-0 in the Premier League as well. I think Norwich missed a penalty in this game. He then went to Preston North End of the Championship and beat them 2-0. Minamino scored in this one. And then recently, Liverpool 3, Leicester 3. I have no idea how Leicester didn't win that game. They should have been 4-1 up before you turned up in the second half. Vardy should have scored. And then you went to penalties, and then Bertrand with a poor penalty and several others. Before Jota won it for you 5-4 on penalties. So what have you made of your Carabao Cup campaign so far? Good draws, good games.
It's been very good games. Yeah, I mean Norwich was pretty straightforward. Preston did give us a couple of problems in the second half, but came through that. Leicester, as you say, I can't believe they've been 3-1 up. 3-1 up, and they don't see it out. I mean, that's the thing about Brendan Rodgers' sides is that he goes into very big leads and then he just doesn't see it out. With Arsenal, I actually remember when was it Lee Johnson, the Sunderland manager, said who would you like in the next round, and he said, "Oh, I'll take Arsenal. They'll be what did he say?
He added later on. He added, and then we can wait for the big boys later on. Basically, implying that Arsenal are not a big boy. Big boys.
I was quite glad when you actually thumped them 5-1 because I thought that was real arrogancy from Lee Johnson. But yeah, the League Cup form has gone to plan so far. We've only made the final once under Klopp, and I think it was his first season in charge, which was 15-16. As well. So yeah, look, it's going to be a big game. Arsenal have got a very good record in the League Cup. There's no Manchester City, of course, so big chance for you to go on and win. And I think you guys obviously having the second leg at the Emirates could be very crucial indeed.
Just for this season, obviously in the Carabao Cup over the years with Arsene Wenger, we used to be terrible. We used to play all the kids and then get thumped throughout. But yeah, I definitely agree on what you said about Sunderland. That day I did my match reaction and there were so many Sunderland fans, no idea where they came from. And they're like, it was just a joke and stuff. Couldn't hear it. We wanted 7 or 8 goals. So those are the results so far this season. Surprisingly, we've had to play 4 games. Liverpool have had to play 3. So to actually win the competition, for us, we'll have played 7 games and Liverpool would have played 6 games. So it's not that easy. You'll still have to go through a few teams. So next up, as you said, is Liverpool-Arsenal. Again, here we are again saying it's a game we never look forward to. We all remember what happened last time. we were so confident. 44 minutes, still 0-0, looking good. You're like, things will definitely happen here. But Mane opened up the story. What did you make of that game then? Were you a bit surprised for the first 40 minutes in that game, or are you still confident that you'll still get the job done?
I remember the game that Ramsdale just had one of those games where everything that was coming at him, he was saving. Problem for me was that game. I think Arsenal played very, very well. They played very, very well in the first half. It was just that free kick from obviously Trent to Mane to make it 1-0. And then after that, look, no one likes a player to make a mistake. Tavares passing it straight to Jota, that was criminal, absolutely criminal. I don't know what he was doing. He was just, I think he did everything right to begin with. Goes past Oxlade-Chamberlain like he's not there. Then what he has to do is just ping it away. What he does, he tries to pass it back to Ramsdale, and he doesn't obviously Jota there, and Jota just goes straight past Ben White, straight past Ramsdale, and then scores. And then after that, he absolutely capitulated. Salah obviously gets his goal, and then Minamino is on for like 10, 15 seconds, and he scores the fourth to make it 4-0. 4-0 kind of flattered us because I think you had chances in the first half, and you could argue Mane should have probably been sent off in that game as well.
Yeah, he should, just like the Chelsea game, and probably the last season as well when he stepped on Tini or something, the 2 years or something ago. So he was lucky in that, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. If the game remained 1-0 until the 60th minute, if Tavares never made that mistake, you never know what would have happened. You just need a set piece or something. Liverpool always play a high line. Maybe went for Trent to go forward, Robertson, you never know what will happen. But as long as that second goal went in and we were trying to get a goal, Liverpool on the counter with Salah and Mane and a freshman. Minamino who always seems to score against us. I think he scored against us in the Carabao Cup, in the Community Shield as well. He always scores against us, surprisingly. So it's usually not great seeing him. That is the previous meeting. I also remember this happened in that game before they shook hands. They started obviously tussling and stuff. Do you think that had a big difference in that game, Arteta and Klopp tussling?
Yeah, that was a big turning point actually, because I think Arsenal were doing so well, and then all of a sudden that just riled up the Anfield crowd. And the one person you don't think you go at is Jurgen Klopp. And I think that really rallied the Liverpool supporters after that. So yeah, I do remember it. Hopefully they won't do that again on in the game. But I think Arteta. I've actually been very, very impressed with Arteta, the way he's actually done this season. Like, it doesn't start very, very well for him, but actually just slowly on. Arsenal have had this very, very impressive run. And actually, I've been very impressed with your youngsters. Obviously, Emil Smith-Rowe's coming through. Saka's coming through. Martinelli is one player I'm looking out for. I think he is an absolute talent. And I think he's actually scored against Liverpool, actually. I think he may have scored in the 5-5. Game. Obviously, you had Joe Willock as well. So this is a big, big game. This is a very, very big game. And I'm actually glad you're coming to Anfield. I don't know why, but you always seem to freeze when you go to Anfield, but maybe not in the League Cup. The League Cup's a lot different, but you are coming up against us without Mane, without Salah, and without Naby Keita.
I mean, we'll count the lineup because I also think we are missing a few players, but as you said, I don't know what usually happens at Anfield. And, it's different managers, different players. So what is usually the problem? Because it's Brendan Rodgers, it's Klopp, it's Suarez, Sturridge, Sterling, it's Coutinho, it's now Firmino, Salah, Mane, it's Arsenal with Arsene Wenger, Ozil, Sanchez, now with Ben White and different players. But we always seem to freeze every time at Anfield. The moment one goal goes in, it's 2, 3, 4 every single year, just like whenever we go to Stamford Bridge or any of those grounds, the City's ground as well. Every time we concede one, it's usually 2 or 3. So my next question is about the Cups. As I said, for us, this is a very, very major competition. If I really like if our youngsters get a cup this early on in their careers, we throw in the likes of Saka, whichever cup it is, although people say the Carabao Cup is not all that. For our youngsters, it is. So obviously, the other day he played against Shrewsbury. They actually took the lead. I was like, what is going on here? If Shrewsbury can score a goal, then we are going to smash Liverpool. But what did you make of that game? And now FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Do you want Liverpool to focus on both? Do you want a good run in both competitions? Obviously, you already have a good run in the Carabao Cup. Do you want you guys to reach far in the FA Cup, or do you want to focus on the Champions League when it gets started? Where is your focus on? Because for me, personally, I think City have already won the title. I don't think they'll slip up. So unless you guys still have hope.
Yeah, I think the thing is with me is to focus on the cups. I think because there's one thing. If we can get to the final of the Carabao Cup, then fantastic. If we can get to an FA Cup final, that would be even better. I mean, we've got Cardiff in the next round, so you'd probably expect us to probably win that game anyway. Yeah, that man is the back heel was very, very good, but. Champions League could be very interesting. It could be very, very interesting indeed. Might change our mindsets. I'm in agreement with you. I think City are way, way too many points ahead. I think we've got one game in hand, and it's against Leeds. If we win that, it's only 8 points.
You will win that.
Where is City going to lose 3, 4, 5 games? We're going to have to win all our remaining games to have any chance. And we have got City coming up in April, but by then, I think the league will probably be over. If they beat Chelsea, then I think they're 14 points ahead of Chelsea. So,
yeah,
I look at that. I look at this game, and it is very, very important for me.
Yeah,
and I do think that I think the cups need to be taken seriously now.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously come to team lineups very, very shortly. But I think he'll go strong tomorrow. I really do. I think he may go strong against Arsenal.
I think you have to. So let's do that next. Starting lineup. So you've obviously said I watched Liverpool the other day. Obviously Firmino came from the bench. You had the likes of Origi injured and stuff, but you had Robertson starting, obviously because he missed a couple of games because of a red card. Alisson was not available. A few players were not available, but the likes of Alisson will be back. So which kind of starting lineup do you think Klopp will go for?
I am going to say Kelleher will start in goal. He has been our cup goalkeeper, and I just think the way that we've been playing recently, I think Kelleher has been very, very good. So I don't see any way to change it. Left back's an interesting one. I think he may go Costa Tsimikas. I think Andy Robertson will probably play against Brentford at the weekend, so I'm going to go Costa Tsimikas. At the back, I think it'll be Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk will definitely play. And then I've got a feeling he may bring Kumetio in instead of Kanati. I think Kanati needs a wee break, so I think Kumetio will come in. Right back's an interesting one. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been rumoured to be in training, but I don't think he will be fit. So I think he'll go Neco Williams or Connor Bradley, depending on which one is actually in training this week. I think he may go Neco Williams. Midfield, I think it'll be Fabinho, Henderson, and I think Ox. I think Ox will start as well. Then up front, I'm going to say Minamino, and I'm going to say Firmino, and I'm going to say Jota.
You're going to say Firmino, I'm going to say, oh no. You're going to say Minamino, I'm going to say, oh no, because they always both score against us somehow. Firmino, I think, has like 9 or 10 goals against us already. So that's still a strong team, but I would still imagine Robertson starting. I've seen Brentford playing the last 2 games. I don't think he'll be worried about that game over the weekend. They got smashed up by Southampton yesterday. So you rather even go for Tsimikas in the league than Robertson. So there's a couple of ways this could go. Let's say we play you guys tomorrow and win 3-1 or something, and then the second leg has to be taken really seriously. Which one do you prefer? Let's get the job done in the first leg and then just hold it out in the second leg, or let's try and risk it in the first leg in case we lose and go strong in the second leg. Which one would you prefer?
I would want to get the tie over and done with, if I'm being honest. I think I like if it's very, very tight, then obviously it could go either way, but I don't like tight games in semi-finals. I like to get the job done before the second leg. So I would say get the job done tomorrow. Definitely
agree. So for us, I think Ramsdale will definitely start in goal. Leno's not terrible the other day, but I think since we went out of the Nottingham Forest game, I don't think he'll risk it anymore. There's a chance he could go out of 2 cups in 1 week, and then people will turn on Arteta again. That's how Arsenal fans are. Everyone will turn on him again, and then we'll only have like 18 games to go in the Premier League, having to win all of them to get that top 4. Now, Tavares was subbed off in the first half the other day. I think Tierney will definitely start now. I think there's a problem there with Tavares, and Arteta, I don't think he liked instructions or something, whatever he was doing. I think Gabriel will come back in because he was suspended for the FA Cup game. I think Ben White will start again. Holding was horrible. Holding was terrible in that Nottingham Forest game, so I don't think he'll risk him against the likes of Jota. Tomiyasu will come back in. He was ill, but I think he'll come back in now. The problem is the midfield. We have no midfielders, Doug. We're in a situation where we might have Arteta playing in midfield. He used to be a midfielder, so we might have to use him in midfield. Xhaka is out. Parties at the African Cup of Nations. El Neni, Niles left Arsenal, and Lokonga had a shock against Nottingham Forest. So what do? We only have one fit midfielder. They're looking to buy midfielders, but it's already a bit too late because they're already playing Liverpool and Tottenham over the weekend, the two most important games. So I think he will go for Lokonga, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard in midfield. So that is where you can possibly beat us in that midfield, because if you start with the likes of Henderson, Fabinho is fit.
Yeah.
I mean, if those guys start, Fabinho, Henderson, and those kind of players, you will win the midfield battle, because Lokonga, we had to play Patino the other day in midfield, and he did not look like strong enough for the competitive games right now. So I think he'll bring back Odegaard and Smith Rowe. He'll have to risk Smith Rowe, and then up front, I think we'll go strong. Saka, Martinelli, and Lacazette, mostly because the likes of Keita were terrible against Nottingham Forest. So I don't think he'll risk it. And maybe if we won that game, he would have rotated a bit, knowing we are through in the FA Cup in case something bad happens in the Carabao Cup. We are good, but I don't think he'll take those risks. So that is the team I expect him to go for. We lack midfielders. You guys on the bench could bring in that squad you've given. Which kind of players would you have from the bench to change the game for you?
Ooh, good question. Obviously, Milner will be there, I would think. We might see Tyler Morton potentially. Dixon Bonner might be on the bench as well. Cade Gordon, he's one to watch out for. Cade Gordon, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Our second youngest scorer in Liverpool history. So yeah, there's a couple of wee players to look out for sure.
Yeah, Robertson. You said he will be Simica starting.
Yeah,
so
I think Robertson. Yeah, Robertson. Trent, if he's Henderson. Yeah, there's a lot of good players to come in, but as I said, I just hope we get the job done tomorrow.
No, I asked you about that question because we don't have anyone to come from the bench. If we start with that lineup I've given you, that's why I feel like you could end up starting with Nketiah, just to have at least one player from the bench, maybe a Saka or a Smith Rowe to come from the bench and change the game. Because if you start with that, the only attacking player we have on the bench is Nketiah, no one else. And Nketiah is not good enough. So we'll have a bench full of defenders: Chambers, Holding, Pablo Mari, Cedric, Kolasinac, of all people. We'll have maybe Len on the bench as well. Patino, a youngster, and Ketia. So our bench won't be great at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for back five and plays Kolasinac. I will not be surprised if he plays Ben White in midfield or Chambers in midfield. But it's going to be interesting. So what you're asking for is Arsenal to postpone the game as well, so that you can play it later on until our midfielders are fit. So that is what Arsenal fans are asking for. But it's going to be really interesting. Match prediction, Doug. What will be the score at Anfield?
I think you'll score this time. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. Even without Salah and Mane, you will go 3-1 Liverpool. I'm going to go hopeful, since we're going to start with a strong team. Most of our players rested. I don't think we'll win at Anfield. I actually don't think we'll win either way at our place as well. I think we'll draw both games. That's how I feel about it. I don't know if we draw both games, you're going to go to extra time or straight to penalties. I've still not found out that. But I'm going to go for 2-2. I think there's going to be a 2-2 draw here. I can see it being like the other games. I can see us scoring first and then you guys scoring, and then Arsenal taking the lead. And then the moment you thought we were going to hold on to the lead, Liverpool scores always, and then 2-2 or something. So I can see that happening. But even if you beat us 2-1, I wouldn't mind. But since you don't have your players, we also don't have players in midfield. But Salah, Mane, that should really help us, like in terms of confidence, surely. And you also don't have Origi. You also don't have those kind of players who usually come back, like scoring the 5-5 and stuff. But you never know. It's going to be interesting for sure. So all the best, Doug, in the game.
Yeah, all the best to you as well.
It's Carabao Cup time. It's looking like one of us is going to face Chelsea in the final. I don't think Tottenham will come back from 3-0 down. Chelsea leading 3-0 at the moment. So it's going to be Chelsea, Liverpool, or Chelsea, Arsenal in the final. I think Liverpool have played Chelsea in an FA Cup, I think back in 2012 or something, in a final, and we've played Chelsea several times in FA Cup, Europa League finals in the last 3-4 years. So make sure to follow, or just give a shout out to your channel. Yeah,
my YouTube channel is the Dugout Football Channel. That's my Twitter handle there, Enrod_1992. Instagram is Douglas.Horn, and my Facebook is Douglas James Horn.
Awesome, man. Make sure to follow him. African Cup content. African Cup is on as well. We are both doing all the watch-alongs and stuff. Very interesting. We have several players there, the likes of Mane, Keita, Pepe, and that is one reason why both teams are missing a few players. So let us know your prediction for the game. Will it be a Liverpool win? Will it be an Arsenal win? Will it be a draw? Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe and catch up with you guys very, very soon.